Hey guys, this is God of Politics and welcome back to a brand new video. But before we get started with this video, please like this video and subscribe to the channel. Also join the Discord that is linked down in the description. But in today's video, I'm going to be talking about a topic that is the state of Texas. Now, Texas is a state that has been surprisingly close in this election in terms of at least the polling data. If we look at the polling data here, we can see that Biden is actually winning by 0.6 or 0.8 in the state of 0.6 in the state of Texas, and that is what the polling data shows as of now. And obviously polling isn't everything, but the title of this video is "Can Republicans Win Without Texas?" Now, the short answer is no. The long answer is not really. I'm going to be going through, why is Texas trending blue in the first place? How does that have an effect on the rest of the map and the rest of the country? And, looking at the map, can Republicans create any scenarios for themselves if they don't have Texas in their column? Now, first with the polling data, Biden is winning in Texas. And in 2016, for example, the polling data underestimated Democrats. So if you're going to go by that same logic, Joe Biden would win Texas by a lean margin right now. I don't think that's going to happen. He's not going to win Texas by 4 points. I don't think anybody thinks that. I don't think he's going to win it this time. I think next time Democrats could be able to flip it. Maybe the time after that they could flip it. This time I don't think they'll flip it, but it will certainly get closer. But just to see the trend overall, if we look at 2016, for example, Donald Trump beat Hillary Clinton by exactly 9 percentage points. Hillary Clinton did a lot better in many of these suburban counties, for example. For example, Harris County, Hillary Clinton won by 13 percentage points. If we compare that to the 2012 results, Barack Obama won Harris County by 0.1 percentage points. So that's a 13-point trend. Same thing with Tarrant County. Tarrant County, Donald Trump won by 8 percentage points in 2012. Barack Obama won it by 16 percentage points. If we want to look also at Bexar County, Hillary Clinton won by 14. Barack Obama won by 4. So we're seeing a lot of these suburban counties, some of these even urban counties, that Democrats are doing a lot better in. Because you see over here, Republicans already have 80%, up to 90% in some of these areas. How much room is there really to gain in some of these areas? Small counties as well. Whereas Democrats are gaining in the largest counties: Harris County, Dallas County, Tarrant County, Bexar County, Travis County, Collin County, Denton County. All of these counties are trending towards the Democrats, and Republicans really don't have much room to gain. And you're seeing a very similar story in states like Georgia, for example. But why are these areas trending more to the Democrats? If you look, for example, at areas like El Paso County, Barack Obama won at 65 to 33. Hillary did win it by more, 69 to 25, but that's not as much of a trend as some of these other areas. Same thing with many of these Latino counties. Hillary Clinton did not do much better than Obama did. In some cases, even did worse in these Latino counties. But the reason that they're trending is because of these college-educated white voters. If we look at the 2012 exit polls, they didn't actually do official exit polls, but we do have some information here. In the presidential race in Texas, 70% of Texas Latinos voted for President Obama, while 29% voted for Mitt Romney. So 70 to 29 in the 2012 election. If we compare that to the 2016 election here, we can see that amongst Latinos in Texas, Donald Trump won 34%. So he actually improved by 5% with Latinos, but he won the state by 8 points less. How does that make any sense? Well, the reason is, if we look at white voters, for example, Donald Trump did a lot better, worse amongst white voters compared to what Romney did, because, Hillary won black voters easily. She won Latino voters easily, although Trump did do a little bit better. But the reason is because of these counties in the Dallas area, in the Houston area, in the Austin area, that have white voters, college-educated white voters, that are trending more to the Democrats. And it's the same thing for the congressional race. Just for example, if we look at the 24th congressional district, one of these suburban congressional districts, in 2012, Kenny Marchant won 61 to 36. If we compare that to 2016, however, we can see that Kenny Marchant only won 56 to 39. Is that only the Trump effect? All these areas are trending more towards the Democrats here. It's the governor elections, the Senate elections, the House elections, the state Senate elections that are all becoming more Democrat overall. Now, kind of that we've established that Texas is trending towards the Democratic column, is there a scenario in which Republicans can win without it? Because I've also kind of outlined how, these trends are in these suburban areas, not because of an influx of Latinos and, changing the demographics, which does have some impact and will have more impact in the future. But at least for now, that's not what's having the biggest impact. It's impacts that are affecting many areas around the country, the Atlanta suburbs, the Phoenix suburbs, those kind of areas. Now, looking onto the 2016 map here, we have the 2016 map, and Donald Trump got 306 electoral votes. Hillary Clinton got 232. If you turn immediately Texas from red to blue, Democrats win. Hillary Clinton would have won the presidency in this scenario. That's how much weight Texas has. Donald Trump flipped all of these states. He flipped Florida. He flipped Ohio. He flipped Iowa. He flipped Wisconsin, Michigan, Pennsylvania, Maine 2nd District. And all of that is wiped away as long as Texas goes towards the Democratic column. Now, if you're assuming that there's going to be enough weight to push Texas into the Democratic column because of these suburban trends, because of these, Latino voters as well, Arizona would also go blue, and I would, easily argue that Arizona would go blue before Texas would, because you're seeing many of those similar suburban trends as well that are making the state democratic. Same thing with the state of Georgia. You have suburbs here that are becoming much more Democrat, and you don't have many areas for Republicans to gain in the rural areas. Republicans are already 80%, similar to where they're like in rural Texas areas. And so that scenario, you're at 297 for Democrats, 241 for Republicans. Well, where can Republicans gain? Where are the trends favorable for Republicans? Well, you could argue, a state like Minnesota, if you're going to use, the legacy Dems, for example, going towards the Republicans and where they were Democrats before, that puts them at 251. Maybe you say, okay, sure, New Hampshire can go towards the Republicans. Maine at large can go towards the Republicans. What room do you have to gain from this? They already have Florida, which could, easily go to the Democrats in that scenario. That's in their 29 electoral votes. You also have North Carolina that could go to the Democrats. And, you could have a consolidation of this Rust Belt area that makes it a more safe Republican area. And even if you're looking at extreme trends, Republicans win Oregon, a much more rural area. If Republicans won Rhode Island, they're still only at 268 electoral votes. And, if Democrats won Florida, they won North Carolina, they didn't lose Oregon, they didn't lose Rhode Island, they're at 325. They might in this scenario not even lose New Hampshire or Maine at large, and then they're looking at landslide territory. So really, there's not much room for Republicans to gain, and it's all to do with these similar trends that you're seeing towards the towards the Democratic column. Republicans cannot keep winning with just non-college educated white voters. Democrats are doing well with younger voters, they're doing well with minority voters, and they're doing well with college educated voters. If you look at college educated voters, Donald Trump won them by around 1 or 2 points. They're expected to go towards the Democrats now. Minority voters have stayed Democrat for a while. Republicans have done a little bit better with Latinos, but overall Democrats have done very well with them overall. And so, how do the Republicans win in that scenario? Well, let's assume they can, make gains amongst Latino voters. Maybe they could, get close in some of these states like Nevada or Arizona or Texas, but really that's a bit of a stretch because they'd have to change their whole platform. What semblance of the Republican Party even is there anymore if they're changing their entire platform to appeal to a base that they get around 30% of the vote from right now? And so overall, it's not looking too good for the Republicans, and it's all going to come down to Texas. Republicans are going to have to defend Texas. They're going to have to defend Georgia. They're going to have to defend Arizona. And the best case for Democrats in the future, they win North Carolina, they win Florida. Even, they can win New Hampshire. They can even hang on to Michigan in some of these scenarios or Minnesota. And they can even afford to lose like many of these states, even Florida, all of the Rust Belt, and North Carolina, and, even Oregon, and they still end up winning quite easily. And so the Democrats are going to continue to win quite easily if they're going to be able to win this Sun Belt area that is also growing in electoral votes. If you look, in the future, Texas is going to have 41 electoral votes. Arizona is going to have 12. Georgia is going to have more in the future. North Carolina is going to have more. Florida is going to have more. And the areas that are losing electoral votes, Minnesota, Wisconsin, Michigan, Pennsylvania, Ohio, these areas are losing electoral votes, and these are areas that are more Republican. So Democrats are gaining in the areas gaining electoral votes, and Republicans are gaining in the areas losing electoral votes. And this is going to be, a doomed strategy for for Republicans. And even, say Republicans can keep Texas, Democrats only need to win Florida, they only need to win North Carolina, and then they've won. They only need to win one more state in that scenario. And so things are not looking good for Republicans overall. That's why the long answer is no, not really. They can't win without Texas, but they could. Things change. This is a very important election. It's kind of showing national shifts in the environment, but we'll see how much of an impact that has on states like Texas. So thank you all for watching this video. Please like this video and subscribe to the channel. Also join the Discord that is linked down in the description. So again, guys, thank you all for watching, and I will see you guys later.